Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday. It's beautiful and sunny, and I'm feeling the energy. So I'm going to bring that into our flow today. We'll have a nice, energetic flow. And if you're not feeling energetic, it's even better to be doing this now because it'll bring some energy into your body. So why don't we start lying down and then we'll get up and start moving from there. Especially nice if you're not feeling as energetic as I am right now. So take a nice lie down, bring yourself there as slowly as you'd like. You could reach the arms up overhead, extend the legs out, get those fingertips reaching far back and point your toes, maybe spread those fingers. Take a round of breath here. And on an exhale, bring those arms down by the side. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then extend those legs again. And we'll start in our corpse pose in the Savasana that we often end with. So allow the arms to hang out by the side. Palms are up. And let everything in your body be heavy. We'll take a moment just to feel the earth beneath us, to feel the ground support us. And let that support be a comfort. Let it allow you to soften all over, from crown to tail to toes. And let your breath be at its natural rhythm, in through the nose, out through the mouth if you'd like to take a longer exhale. And take a moment to just be still. Be still here on your mat. And welcome yourself to your practice today. Welcome yourself to the day. Thank yourself for showing up, for carving this time out for you, for being present, I say, as a spider crawls over me. And if anything ever happens like that to shake you out of a meditation, and I apologize if I just shook you out of yours, just come back in, come back to the breath. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready, you could lift the arms up, reach overhead, stretch. Bring those knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big hug, and we'll start to rock gently from side to side. Getting into the spine and giving the lower back a bit of a massage. For some, it might feel nice to have the ankles crossed here, or might feel better to keep the feet next to each other, whichever one feels right for you. Take that. We're just getting a little bit of movement, motion in the body. So you could make some circles with the knees here and switch sides. Then we're going to extend the legs up. So maybe you keep a bend in the knees, or maybe you straighten them up. And if you are able to straighten them, bring the toes in toward the shins. And we're going to reach with our shoulders still in the mat, on the mat. Reach your fingertips toward those toes. Inhale here, exhale. And on the next inhale, lift your shoulders up and reach to try and touch the toes. You might touch them, you likely won't. We're just going in that direction. And hold this here for a moment, feeling some heat. Exhale to slowly come back down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. We'll do this 5 more times. Move slowly and with control. Try and reach a little bit further. And then come down, bend those knees once again, and rock yourself from side to side. We'll take a happy baby here in the beginning. So opening into the hips, you could grab for the outside or the inside of the feet, again, whichever one feels better for you. And bring those knees in toward the underarms, opening the hip and breathing here. See that the lower back is still on the mat. We don't want to be lifting and rolling back here. So press that lower back down into the mat as you pull down on the feet to bring them closer to the body. And then kick into the hands with the feet. So we're going to make this active by doing this counter effect that you'll get, pushing into the feet and kicking into the hands. It's going to start to light things up. And you could continue to remain active as you rock gently from side to side, or you could release and let it be passive. Again, keeping that lower back down. So you might come up on one side and then up on the other, but we're pressing it down back into the mat as we come through center. And wherever you are, we'll release, plant the feet down, and we'll take a back ridge. So plant those feet firmly on the ground, seeing that both your heels and your toes are planted. Hands are down by the side of the body. Roll those shoulder blades onto the back, and maybe that lifts your shoulders slightly. Inhale, and then push up into the feet to start to lift the hips, lifting the bottom of the torso, then the top of the torso, coming on to the shoulders and the feet, squeezing the glutes at the top. And then as you exhale, come back down. We're going to move like this, taking a rolling bridge a few times. So while we're doing this, we want to make sure that our gaze remains in the same place. So you can stare at your ceiling. You can also close the eyes down, but we won't be looking around or moving the neck here. We want to keep that integrity. Take a round of breath. And whenever you're ready, push up. And then exhale to come back down. We'll keep moving like this. Move with breath. Inhale to come up. And when you get to the top of the inhale, exhale to come down. Allow your exhale to be full and complete. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to come down. Squeeze those glutes at the top each time. One more time. Good. Once more, take those knees into the chest and rock gently. And while we're still laying down here, you could allow both knees to come over to the right and cactus or T your arm out on the left, gaze toward the left side. Get a nice twist in the spine here. Couple rounds of breath. Good. Very slowly use that core strength to bring you back through center. Hug those knees in. And we're going to drop them to the other side. Same thing, T or cactus the arm. Gaze comes to the right. Knees are going to the left. Good. Through center once again. Plant the feet, same place that they were when you took the bridge. And we're going to just let them drop from one side to the other, taking windshield wiper legs. Let it feel nice. Maybe you get a couple of cracks out. And your head could stay in the center. You can turn it from side to side. You maybe speed this up a little bit. If you do speed it up, keep the head centered. And then come back. Plant those feet and take one more bridge pose. Inhaling to come up, squeezing at the top, and exhaling to come back down. Inhale, the knees come into the chest, and we're going to rock and roll up to a seat. So use your momentum to help get you there, using the core strength to rock up. Maybe it takes a few times, maybe it takes a few more than mine. And from this seat, we're going to sit up nice and tall. A couple of shoulder rolls. So start by rolling them back, big shrugs, exaggerating the movement. Let it feel nice. And then switch directions going forward. Good. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, draw those hands through heart center. We're going to roll into tabletop and take some movement here. Anything that feels nice. Little wiggle, some side to side, maybe some circles, some figure eights could also be nice. A little different. And then on an inhale, peel that right arm up, gaze up. And exhale, just drop it back down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, drop it back down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, thread through. We'll do two more. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, thread through. I have a friend who's crawling on the floor here with me, and it is not a spider. It is a terrifying millipede. You could continue on the left side. Inhale to come up, and exhale to thread through. Inhale to come up. Exhale to thread through. Inhale up, and exhale, thread through. Good, come back to center, take a little wiggle, and we're going to push up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here, opening up in the back of the legs, and very slowly walk the feet forward. Meet the hands, and we'll take a forward fold. Inhale, hands come to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press through the ground, rise all the way up to standing, reach up at the top, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down and just hang over the legs. Stay in this forward fold for a moment. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows. Maybe you bend the knees, let the belly come down, and let it feel good. Good. Release, and slowly and gently start to rock yourself up to standing. Roll one shoulder, then the other. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to come back into a plank. Lower yourself halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Flip your toes, come into a upward facing dog or cobra. Flip them back, downward facing dog. Once again, walk those feet forward to meet the hands, and we'll exhale into forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, left foot. Drop the knee, peel up. Low lunge. Reach up at the top, pulling back on the right hip crease, pulling back on the belly. And interlace your fingers here. Turn the palms up and reach up, getting a little extra stretch as you continue to lunge. On the next exhale, bring your hands down through heart center, and we're going to twist open toward the right. The left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee, and gaze can come over the back shoulder. Good. If you'd like to take this one step further, you can open up, reaching up and back with the right arm, reaching up and overhead if you'd like, whichever feels better for the shoulder. Both options are there for you. And then bring yourself up into teed arms, but continue to stay in this twist. So lifting that chest up, you can bring the hands to heart center and come back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the hands, pick up the back knee and step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out once again. Let yourself sink into the downward dog for a moment. And then walk the feet forward, back to a fold. Exhale here. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, right foot. Drop the knee, peel up that chest, reach up at the top, low lunge. Pull back slightly on the left hip crease, as well as on the belly. Reach up and lunge forward. Staying here for a moment, interlacing the fingers, option of turning the palms up to reach slightly back, getting a little bit of a shoulder opener as well. Wherever you are, exhale, palms come together, press them at heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms back together, twist open toward the left. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, continuing to lunge into that front leg. Any adjustment you might need to get there. Gaze is over the back shoulder. And take any variation you'd like here. So you can drop one arm down, reach back, reach up. And wherever you are, lift that chest up and tee the arms, reaching back with the left arm to really twist open. Option here too, to have cactus if this is uncomfortable for the shoulders, or to remain at heart center. Continuing to lunge here, slowly hands to heart center, turn yourself back forward. Reach up, gaze up, and then exhale, plant those hands, pick up the back knee and step back, downward facing dog. Roll yourself forward into plank, and then exhale, downward facing. We'll take a few spinal waves here. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, forward. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, forward. Exhale, downward facing. Take it 3 more times at your own pace with your own breath. Good. Pedal out a little bit here. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. Send the heels, both heels to the left, and we're going to pick up the right arm. So a modified side plank. You can have a bend in the knees if you'd like. You can keep the legs straight. Exhale, come back through center. Send both feet over to the right. Pick up the left arm. Modified side plank on the left. Push through that right arm. Exhale, back through center. Come into your downward dog. Inhale, back to plank. Drop to the knees and come into child's pose. Let your exhale be long. Good. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing. Walk those feet forward to meet the hands at the front and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, peel up to standing, reach up at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a plank. Lower halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Flip your toes, upward facing or chaturanga. Flip them back, downward facing. Sorry, upward facing or not chaturanga. Cobra. Walk the feet forward, meet the hands. Exhale, downward facing. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push yourself to standing, rise up, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take a little shake, a little reset here. Like to do that about halfway through. Sorry, that millipede really threw me off. We'll take a couple of side bends while we're up here. So inhale, reach up, grab the left wrist. We're going to step behind and arch over toward the right. And you can stay here, or you can find some buoyancy. So you can play with the elbows, bending and straightening the elbows. You can play with the knees as well, bending and straightening. Whichever variation you take, just let it feel nice. And with your exhale, lengthen a little bit further each time. Reach a little bit further to the right. Good. We're going to windmill the arms down and fold over with legs crossed. Maybe you take blocks here if you'd like, or just let yourself fold over the right leg. You can have bend in the knees if that feels nice, and slowly push through the feet to rise back up to standing, reach up. And on an exhale, arms will come behind and hinge forward into curtsy pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curtsy. And this time, inhale, reach. Grab that wrist once again. And one more time, arch yourself over toward the right. Good. We'll turn back so that we're facing center. You could release the arms, and our feet are now on train tracks, but they're not as wide as they would be if we were doing a high lunge. The back foot is going to be in, so it's about halfway up. I'm going to step my front foot a little bit more forward to be able to lunge into that knee. And the back foot is at a 45-degree angle. On an inhale, lunge forward, press down through the outer edge of the back foot as well as through the front foot and come into warrior one. See that the hips and the pelvis are facing forward. This is a great one for ankle mobility in the back foot. So really press down there. You might feel it along the front of your shin and your ankle. Bring that belly in toward the spine. Option to keep arms cactused here if that feels nicer for your shoulders. Another option is to clasp the hands behind the back, roll the shoulders back, and open up the chest here. Wherever you are, on an inhale, raise those arms up and then turn the toes in. Exhale, we're going to pour forward as we straighten the front leg. So your hands could come down to the shin here. They could maybe just rest on the thigh. They can come to blocks or to the floor. I'm going to grab blocks to show you what that would look like. And we're in pyramid pose. Send the hips back to get a deeper stretch in the back of the right leg and continue to push evenly through both feet. Gaze is forward and down, and we're lengthening from crown to tailbone. You can always have a micro bend in both knees. Don't want to hyperextend. And press down into the heels here to get a little extra activation. Sometimes these little cues could really bring it to the next level. Wherever you are, if you have props, put them aside. We're going to plant the hands, bend the knee, step up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through the ground, rise yourself up to standing, reach up to the top, and exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that whole sequence again on the other side. Inhale, reach up, gaze up, grab the right wrist this time, take a big step back, and arch yourself over toward the left. Getting a nice side body stretch on the right side body. Keep the shoulders back and shine the chest open. And again, any variations you'd like to take, bent knees, bent elbows, maybe you even bring the hands behind the head, but continue to reach toward the left side. We're looking for a nice side stretch here. And maybe you go a little bit deeper with each exhale. Good, wherever you are. Just enjoy this moment. Get a nice juicy stretch. And then inhale back to center, reach up. And exhale, pour forward. A twisted forward fold. Big exhales here. And again, you can have bent knees if you'd like. And if any heels are coming off the ground, step your feet a little bit closer together. We want both feet down. Good. Slowly peel yourself up as you press down into the ground. It'll help you lift up, reach up at the top. And on the next exhale, arms come back and we come into curtsy pose. Gazes forward and down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, reach. One last one. Exhale, curtsy. And this time we're going to turn as we reach up. We're going to take a little bit of a step forward with that left foot and maybe adjust with the right. So our feet are on train tracks. The right foot is about 45 degrees. We're able to lunge into the left one. So that might look different on you than it does on me. My ankle mobility isn't stellar, so I'm pretty close together. You might be a little bit further apart. As long as you can have both feet pressing down into the mat evenly, and the whole foot. We want to be able to press the toes, the heels, the side of the foot. Wherever you are, inhale, reach up and lunge, really pressing down into those heels, engaging and making sure that the hips and the entire torso is facing forward. In line here. And again, option to take arms down by the side in cactus, or clasping the hands behind the back, rolling the shoulders back and reaching just until resistance. Wherever you are, inhale, arms come up, back toes point forward, front toes stay where they are, straighten that front leg and start to pour forward. And hands can come, we're going to keep the back straight, so hands can come to the thigh, to the calf, to the ground, or to blocks, wherever you are comfortable. And we'll stay in pyramid pose once again, continuing to press down evenly through both feet as you send the hips back and create a long line from tailbone to crown. I always like to use blocks in this position here. Feels nice for me. And if you don't have both heels on the ground, walk that back foot in ever so slightly until you do. You want to really be able to press down, especially in the front leg, where you can send the hip back as you reach forward with the crown, almost as if somebody is pulling you at the crown forward, lengthening your spine. And this will help to get deeper into those back muscles of the left leg. Wherever you are, if you do have props, put them aside, plant the hands, bend the knees, take a step forward, feet meet, and exhale to forward fold. We're going to bend the knees and come down to a little ball at the front of the mat. Maybe the head comes in, maybe you hug the legs together. And from here, we're going to step into a Yogi Squat. Again, this is something that might look very different for different people, and I will show you some variations. So this is a great position to get into the hips. It's a big hip opener, but it's not always attainable. So a few things that you can do. So I'm going to step out a little bit further, and I'm going to have my toes are pointing way out. Now this is dependent on what your body looks like, how you're shaped, how your bones are. Your toes might be in a lot more or out even more. Some are completely, make like a 180. Options here. You could have blocks in front of you to put your hands down on. You can have blocks under you to sit down on to get into this. You can have a weight in front of you to hold, to counterbalance, because a lot of this is about balance. If you're rolling forward like this, you need to get your chest up. So in order to do that, you can also hold on. If there is a pole or something in your house that you can hold on to, I'm talking with my hands, I'm losing my balance here. If your heels are up, that's okay, but if it hurts the knees, you can slide something under the heels. Now, it could be a block. A block might be a bit much, so it's a bit much for me right now as I'm demonstrating, but it could be just as simple as a rolled up towel as well. Wherever you are, you want to make sure that your shoulders can come back and your chest can come up and that you're relatively comfortable. I like to put my hands together at heart center and press in to the insides of my thighs here with my elbows. So whichever variation you're in, chest is up. Even if you're leaning slightly forward, that's okay. We just don't want to round forward. And breathe into this for a moment. Wherever you are, plant the hands down and push through the hands as you slowly start to extend the legs, coming into a fold. So maybe the knees stay bent here. Turn the feet back in so that they're facing forward more naturally. Exhale to fold here. Take a bit of a bigger step, so heel toe the feet out, and with your hands down or on a block, another option, slowly start to sink back into your Yogi Squat. We're going to move like this a couple of times. Press down to lift up. Fold, rounding the upper back, bringing the belly button towards the spine. And exhale as you come back down. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Once you've done this a few times, you can try it without your hands if you'd like. Coming up and folding without the assistance. And wherever you are, we'll heel toe in, coming into a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And then sink yourself down into a seat, however you'd like to get there. We're going to plant the feet in front of us because we just did quite a big opener. We're going to close up. So drop both knees over toward the right. Look left. Maybe pick up the left arm, reach slightly back as you get a twist. Plant the hand back down. Come through center. Drop both knees over to the left. Look right. Again, maybe getting a stretch here. And then windshield wiper. to counter that giant opening that we just did. Now, if you've never done a yogi squat before and that was your first time, it's not easy for everyone. And as I said at the beginning, it really depends on your body, on your personal level of mobility, flexibility. Some bodies are made differently and it comes easier. And some, it feels nearly impossible. When I started doing yoga, a yogi squat felt completely impossible to me. My heels were nowhere near the ground. I didn't think I would ever get into it. And then I learned that it was a lot more about balance than about my ankle mobility, which is what I thought it was. So when I learned how to balance into the squat, it made it a little bit easier for me to practice it. Wherever you are, just cross the legs. We're going to take some circles here at the waist. So some small spinal circles. Move toward the left. And then wherever you are, switch directions, moving to the right. So if ever anything such as that squat feel unattainable for you, try the variations. Just because you're doing a variation or using a prop doesn't mean that you're not getting the benefits. You are getting the benefits. And you can set yourself a goal of eventually getting there, but it is not a race. It's a journey, it's a marathon. And with persistence and routinely coming back to your practice, eventually it will improve. And maybe your heels will never touch the ground. And that's okay, but you'll get closer and you'll notice it. You'll notice it. It comes pretty quickly. Wherever you are, sit back up nice and tall as if you're leaning back onto something flat, like a wall or a board behind you. Hands on the knees, palms down, roll the shoulders back. You can gaze up and down, getting into the neck here. Good, and drop the chin toward the chest. And we're going to roll from side to side. So left ear to the left shoulder, and then right ear to the right shoulder, coming through center. Extending and releasing. Getting any creaks or cracks out of the neck. Good, come back. Bring the head up slowly. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. You can place those hands back down on your knees. And we'll start some spinal circles again, but this time we're going to make them a little bit bigger and we're going to lean forward and then come back. And you can attach your breath to this. So match your breath to your movement, inhaling to come back and exhaling to come forward, as if you're going to blow out the candles on a really big cake. Did a couple more times. Once more. Good. And as you come back to center, we're going to switch sides. So once again, blowing out as you come forward, and then leaning back to inhale. And again, it might look very different on you than it does on me. This one is also good, not just for spinal mobility, but hip mobility as well as we lean forward. A very squeaky floor. I found the floorboard that moves with me. A few more. Last one. Good. Come through center. Extend your left leg out and cross the right one over, stepping over here. On an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, wrap the left arm around the right leg. Right hand comes behind. It can come behind onto the floor or onto a block. Twist yourself open toward the right. You could point the toes on the left foot or flex them, but have them engaged in whichever way feels best. You might feel yourself twist a little bit deeper with each exhale. Good. Come back through center. Reach those arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Extend that leg out. And we're going to walk the hands forward and shimmy yourself forward as far as you can go. So I'll show you from the side what this might look like. Maybe your legs don't like to extend. And if that's the case, you can put something underneath the knees, whether it's a block, a pillow, a rolled up blanket, or if they are extended, have them that way. And then you walk yourself forward. But we want to keep the back straight. So a way to encourage this is to pull the belly button toward the spine as you come forward. And you're sending, even though it's down on the ground, you're sending the hips back. So just that motion will allow you to keep the integrity of the spine. And whenever you are at your personal edge, just hold it there for a moment. Continue to pull the heart toward the feet. It's not going there, but it's going in that direction. Good, and then slowly walk back up. Inhale, reach up, and exhale. Hands are going to come behind. Plant the feet. We're going to lift the hips up, coming into altar pose. Exhale as they come back down. Now, this is a personal preference for your own comfort. Your fingers can be turned out to the side. They can be turned in toward the body, or they can be turned back. For some on the wrists, it might feel better one way or another. So you can see what feels better to you. I like my hands turned out toward the back. It feels better for me and my wrists. Spread the fingers out. Once again, inhale, push up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down. Wherever you are, hug in, big squeeze. And we're going to switch sides. Extending those legs out in front of you, bending the left leg and stepping over. So we have our legs crossed. And again, if it's not available to have a straight leg, put something under that knee and support yourself. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right arm crosses over the left leg, hugging it in as close as you can toward you. Left hand is behind, and we take a nice juicy twist. Something you'll hear in a lot of yoga practices, you might hear your instructor say that twists are detoxing. I'm not a fan of the word detoxing because we have liver and kidneys to do those functions. That said, twists do encourage the flow of fluids through the body. So if you breathe into them, nice big belly breaths while you're here, you stimulate the movement of lymphatic fluid. You stimulate the movement of your stomach and other digestive fluids. And you stimulate blood flow. Inhale back through center, reach up. Exhale, extend the legs out, hands come in, and bend the knees. Once again, we will windshield wiper. So in terms of detoxing, you are not like you're getting rid of all these heavy metals by taking a twist, but you are stimulating your organs. So you're allowing your body to do its job and you're assisting it. Sometimes we get blockages. Sometimes we feel stagnant. Sometimes just in our energy, we feel stagnant. And twists can be energetic as well. So great for the nervous system. So in that respect, that is how twists can be detoxing. But I still don't love that word. It's just nice to know what these movements and these poses actually do to the physical body. And they can be quite powerful, especially when we connect to breath. Good. Come back through center. You're going to bring your feet in as close as you can toward the body. So step the heels in as close as they want to go and keep them about hip width distance apart. Come as close as you can and really round the upper back. Press down through the feet, rounding, 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 getting a nice stretch in the lower back here. Maybe a stretch in the shoulders. And then we're going to release into a Badakanasana. So feet come together, soles of the feet together. Hands can be on the shins, on the ankles. Could be way up here, right below the knees, wherever you'd like them to be. I like mine a little bit lower so that I could use that leverage to pull my chest through. And just breathe into this. Another thing that the breath does is it sends signals through our nervous system to our muscles and our ligaments, and it allows everything to soften. The breath is literally the language of the nervous system. You can speak to your nervous system through your breath by taking a deeper exhale. You speak to the vagus nerve, which then allows you to switch from fight or flight, which is what our body goes into when we're in an uncomfortable position, to rest and digest, which is where we want to be, to see change, to feel a relaxation, and to lengthen our muscles. When we are in that fight or flight, we have a tendency to tense. So even right now, take a little check. Are you wearing your shoulders as earrings? Are you hunching forward? Try to bring the chest up. Maybe the head comes back slightly, opening the throat. Are your knees really high up and you're feeling really tense? Exhale and they'll start to come further down. Notice that your exhales allow you to lengthen a little bit more each time. Wherever you are, gently slide the hands to the outside of the knees, close up. We're going to take a little bow once again. And we're going to roll onto the back. Slowly and gently rounding as you come down. We'll rock from side to side, back where we started. Hopefully my friend the centipede or millipede isn't around. And give yourself a little spinal massage. Extend the left leg, keeping the right knee in. You can have the hands under the knee here. If you'd like to bring it a little bit closer to the body, that's an option. But once again, see that that which is not engaged is relaxed. So other than the leg that's up here and the hands holding it, you're using some muscles for that. Let your other muscles soften, soften, soften. Breathe out. Let the shoulders relax down to the mat. Let the left foot be heavy. And take some belly breaths here, letting the belly rise and fall. And belly breaths allow us also to ensure that we're not just breathing shallow. Because another thing that happens when we're in positions that are tough or uncomfortable or tight, we take shallow breaths. But when you consciously belly breathe, you make yourself take deeper breaths, flooding the body and the organs with oxygen, allowing it to go where it needs to soften, to relax, to stretch. Release that right leg down very slowly, and with control, bring the left one in. Again, knee comes toward the chest, pull it in, give it a little squeeze, and then you can gently release slightly so that you're in a more passive stretch here. And then bring both knees in. I like to hold underneath for this one. Squeeze them in close. Again, a gentle release while still holding them, staying passive, but just taking belly breaths and letting the breath do the work here. So this one is called full wind. Beautiful posture for stimulating digestion. This also is a great pose to alleviate gas if you have a lot of it. Or even if you just have a little of it and you didn't realize, sometimes if we're feeling bloated or you've overeaten, this posture might be uncomfortable at first, especially if your belly is quite full. So you can release a little bit and just let the belly breaths massage everything in that area, allowing anything that's trapped or stuck to move through that intestine, to move through the stomach. Good, and drop both knees over to the left. You can keep the hands on the belly for this one. Just look right. I think I'm on the opposite side, actually. My knees are to the right. I'm looking left. Wherever you are. Come through center. Drop both knees to the other side and look opposite. Maybe feel something moving around in the belly. And come back through center and plant the feet in front of you. And we will take a supine windshield wiper here. Trying on each side to bring the outside leg a little bit closer to the center. So we don't do many internal hip rotations. We have a tendency to do a lot of external ones. But these internal rotations, so this outside leg coming toward the center, try and touch the knee down a little bit further. You'll feel that nice stretch on the outside, getting into those IT bands, the SI joints. Good. Come back to center. And you can stay here for a moment if you like to. Take a Savasana. You could extend the legs, extend the arms down by the side. Maybe hands come to the belly, or one to the heart, one to the belly. Maybe you keep the feet planted if that feels nice. Sometimes it feels good for the lower back to have the knees bent. Another option is to put a prop under the knees and let it be restorative. Just let yourself drape over it and sink into the ground below. Wherever you are, just take a few rounds of breath here. And feel free, if you're watching this in a replay, to stay here as long as you'd like. You can pause the video or just let it go to its end and stay in your Savasana. A silent meditation. If you're with me right now today, you can start bringing movement back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers, rolling yourself over to one side, staying here for just a moment, and then gently pushing yourself up into a seat. Take one last big exhale. Thank yourself for showing up today. Thank you for joining me, making me part of your practice. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did, and let it bring some energy into your day for you. So namaste. I will see you in the next one.